and welcome back to my channel, or hi if you are new here. My name is Chloe Swift. I'm a professional hairstylist and hair care expert. Today I'm going to be bringing you a video all about curling with a curling iron, so with the arm attachment. I'm going to be showing you 4 completely different ways how you can create curls or waves with your curling iron, so let's get into it. The curling iron I am going to be using today is the GHD Classic Curl Tong. It's 26mm wide in width, or if you're in the US, that's 1 inch. So I honestly just find this curling iron can pretty much do anything that I want it to do. It does what it says on the tin, classic curls. So if I know I want a tighter, more defined curl, I would definitely opt for this curling iron. But then again, saying that, I'm going to show you 2 other ways where you can create looser looks with this iron. And I have used these GHD curling irons literally since they came out, which I want to say was about 2015, so almost like 10 years ago now, let's say. I find they are so reliable. You don't need to leave them on the hair for too long. 5 to 8 seconds. 8 seconds is the maximum amount of time you want to leave it on the hair for. Curls hold, they stay, they're just so reliable, and I do really like them and recommend them. So I will leave this particular iron down below, linked in the comments for anyone who's interested. Product prep today. My hair is actually a little bit frizzier than usual. It's gone a bit wild today. So I am going to be popping in the IGK Good Behavior Spirulina Smoothing Spray. So this is a heat protection spray, but it really helps to smooth your hair prior to styling. So anyone else who does have more frizz prone, fluffy hair, that is definitely one I'd recommend. So again, I'm going to link that down below for those who are interested. First technique on this side, I'm going to show you the classic curl. So the technique here is a flat wrap technique. So I'm going to hold my iron in my right hand and then come up and over. So whatever side of the head you're styling, you always want to use your opposite hand and come up and over for this kind of technique. So then say if I was doing this side, I'd want to use this hand, come up and over. This part we call the arm. People might call it a lever or a clip, but I call it an arm. So hold that open. This curl, I'm gonna have it going backwards away from my face. So I'm gonna pop the iron behind the hair. And you see already how the hair is like stretched out and it's straight. There's no kinks, there's no kind of bends in the hair. You need to make sure the hair is wrapping around flat the whole way around the barrel. Arm open, place that iron behind the hair. Make sure it's kind of all the way at the base, so you're making full use of the barrel length. And then you see every time I'm wrapping it around, I'm just kind of making sure that hair is completely flat around the barrel. Overlap the ends slightly, and this is so then you can close the arm. It's not going to fall out. You're just tucking those ends in, and then I'm just going to wrap it right back up to the root again. Just going to leave them just for a few seconds because I've already left it on for quite a while whilst I've been talking. Just want to tap, 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 tap it out of the hair. So when I'm doing that, I'm just kind of tap, tap, tap in, release that curl. So this kind of curl is perfect for those of you who want a classic round bouncy curl. It literally is just like your classic ringlet curl, but if you want to create Hollywood waves, this is that perfect curl to do that. So say if you then did this curl all the way around the head and they were all in the same direction, once you dress it out with a dressing brush, you'll create these beautiful melting Hollywood waves, Hollywood curls. So yeah, this is your classic curl, which is a flat wrap technique. Okay, next curl, let's toss that one back out of our way. So now we're going to do the complete opposite to that curl. We are going to do a looser waved curl, and the technique for this is called a twist wrap. To start off with, again, I want my curl to go backwards away from my face. You just want to pop one twist in the hair at the root to begin with. And because we're going and curling backwards away, I want the twist to come forward towards the face, okay? Same kind of method, how we're coming up and over, and I'm pointing my iron downwards. So hair is wrapped around the back and then twist forward, wrap, twist forward, wrap. And then with this kind of curl, you're just gonna hold the end. You're not gonna be able to wrap it all the way around and then close the arm of the iron. Catch that curl, release, and you can see already just how different it is to this one. So this one more wide, more chunky, it's got that more bounce, whereas this is definitely looser. So where you've done that twist in the hair, it kind of gathers in these crests, but then where it isn't twisted, where it was wrapped around flat, it is wider here. And then all you want to do is pop that out, pop, 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 and we end up with more of a wave. So this look is perfect to create more of those kind of mermaidy waves, looser kind of looks in the hair. Definitely if you hold it on for kind of up to 8 seconds, you'll still get that nice tight result. So we have a classic curl with a flat wrap technique here, and then a softer waved curl with a twist wrap technique here. So on to the next side. Next I'm going to be holding up my iron the complete opposite way with the tip pointing upwards, and here we are going to create that LA wave kind of curl. So again, this is going to result in more of a wave technique, a looser curl. Open up your arm, and again we're placing the hair in between, and I'm going to have the curl going away from the face. Close it, and then you want to get that kind of rotation in straight away so you don't get an indentation mark on the hair. One full wrap around the barrel, glide it down slightly, and then unhook underneath. Wrap it round so it's got one full rotation again, unhook underneath, wrap it round, unhook underneath, and then you kind of just glide out so the ends finish on a straight. So far out of the three, this curl is your most elongated, you're keeping the most length here, definitely more of a wave. That is your LA wave curl. Next one on this side, let me just toss that behind again. This is the best technique if you have really long hair, really thick hair, and you want that ultimate bouncy curl which is going to stay and hold and last. We are going in with the iron pointing upwards, pointing up towards the ceiling. Close the hair within the middle and straight away get that full rotation in. Keep kind of like tap, tap, tapping to allow the arm to slightly open to feed more hair through. As you're feeding more hair through, you keep rotating and wrapping the hair around. And what this does, it keeps the hair constantly more at the root rather than the end, because it is so important to keep the hair at the root rather than the end. The end of the hair doesn't need anywhere near as long as the root. The root of your hair is always thicker, it can take more heat. So what this does, it creates that perfect even curl. It literally looks like a sausage kind of curl at the moment, but it's so perfectly even and so perfectly uniform, but you've kept most of the heat on at the root where it is needed on the hair. So you are continually tap, tap, tapping to open up the arm slightly, but you're only opening it up slightly because obviously if you open up too much, you're going to release all the hair that's already in there, whilst you're rotating it around and just feeding more hair through. You kind of just keep the iron continuously there. You're not pulling it down or pulling it out or anything. Maybe that's the trickiest to master, but I so recommend it if you have really long, really thick hair, as I say, and you want curls which are going to hold and last and stay. So we have two kind of tighter curls, the classic curl, and then that last one here which I showed you. They're tighter, more bouncy, more rounded, and then these two underneath here are more of kind of your softer, they're more of a wave kind of curl. I'm going to pick one of each on both sides to finish then the side so you can see the difference. And I think on this side I'm going to pick the twist wrap technique, and then I do definitely want to show you more of that technique because I feel like it was quite hard to talk about it as I'm doing it at the same time. So I want to show you more of that technique, and then I'm going to show you this one. And the reason I'm not picking this LA one is because I already have a video of doing a full look of that one, which again I'll link below in the description box. What am I going to call this one? I need to think of what I'm going to call this one. process as usual. We need to leave these to completely cool down before we dress them out. I'm gonna just set them with some hairspray. This is one of my all-time favorite hairsprays. It's a living proof flex hairspray. It's so lightweight, but you can actually apply it before you curl your hair because it does also contain heat protection. So that's a great tip for those of you who find that your hair drops super easily. Definitely recommend this spraying on before, and then also it's just a great lightweight flexible hairspray for afterwards. And let's let this cool. Okay, right, all cool. Before we dress them out, let's just have a look at the different curls. So this side is just so much softer. Yes, it has still like bounced up in length compared to like my usual hair, I guess it's like down there. My hair takes to curl like that. I don't know what it is. My hair just curls so well, and it stays and it holds really well usually as well. I find, yeah, whenever I do curl my hair, especially with this classic curl iron, it will always bounce up, even with like a softer wave technique like this. One thing I did forget to mention, all of these techniques obviously you can do with a range of different size curling irons. So if your hair is similar to mine and it bounces up quite a lot and it holds curl really easily, you could easily do all of these techniques with a larger curling iron. So for example, then there's the soft curl Tong from GHD, which is 1.25 inches wide. Then the bigger the Tong is, the slightly looser result you're gonna get. And it's already becoming that lovely kind of melting wave. This side, you've got more what I like to call sausage curls at the moment. Perfectly symmetrical, lovely little bouncy round ringlets. So dressing out, what I always like to do is get a wide tooth comb, spray hairspray onto my wide tooth comb, and that is because, I mean, we've already sprayed this with some hairspray, but that literally only just goes on the top layer. When you dress your hair out, you just want to make sure you are almost dressing hairspray through the individual hairs, and that stops any flyaway. Some people are so scared to dress their hair out because it can go like all the hairs start going everywhere, but so long as you are using plenty of product, that isn't going to happen. So pick up your hair and then you want to start off from the underneath and just make sure you are dressing out the underneath. Look at that. I literally love these waves so much. They look very polished. Yeah, it's Hollywood-esque. It's definitely kind of that kind of vibe. You do have a little bit of flyaway, so then I would just take some more hairspray, kind of run it over the top and run my hands over. Then what I always love to do is finish with an oil as well. So I'm gonna use today another one of my all-time favorite oils. This is the Living Proof No Frizz Vanishing Oil, and it is so lightweight. I'd say out of all of my oils I have, this is probably the most lightweight. A dry oil, I'd call this, and it's called the Vanishing Oil because literally as you rub it into your hands, it does almost just vanish. So I love this oil for popping into dry hair. It really just finishes the style, adds that shine really nicely, and yeah, it's not too heavy for those of you who are worried about heavy oils weighing your hair down. Plenty in those ends, and then once I'm happy with the amount of oil in my hair, run the comb through again just to get that shape back. Perfectly polished, pretty mermaid Hollywood style waves on this side with the twist wrap technique. Now let's dress out. I think I'm going to call these uniform curls because how the technique is like feeding it through and wrapping around, but it creates that perfectly uniform curl from root to tip. Hold these up under here, and again we're just going to do the exact same. So picking up the different layers, dressing out each individual layer. Again, let me just pop some oil into this side. We have perfectly symmetrical, round, bouncy curls. On this side, you've achieved more width to the hair. And just look at that shine. This is literally why I do love these irons, just the shine that it gives the hair as well. So these only work up to 185 degrees Celsius or 365 degrees if you work in Fahrenheit. So it's just that optimum temperature. You can't set them any higher, but you really don't need to set them any higher. For some reason, I never do this on my own hair, but because I guess this is the perfect curl if your hair struggles to hold, this is so perfect because you kind of leave it on the hair a lot longer time on the roots and the mids. And those of you who have really long or thick hair, this is where the hair is so heavy, it will just start to like drag the curl out. So I guess I don't really do this technique on my own hair because my curl holds, but just look at that result. I actually love that result, and I love how the ends are like all perfectly tucked under and formed. And for those of you who do want to see kind of even more width to the hair, it's so nice just to give the hair just a little gentle back tease and then just further kind of like expand the hair. So uniform curl, holding it at the root and feeding it all the way through to the end, so that perfectly round, bouncy ringlet curl, which is going to hold and last. And then we have our twist wrap technique, which gives you a lot softer shape and more of a waved curl. Comment below, guys, and let me know which side you prefer best and which side you think you're going to want to create. But thank you so much for watching this video and making it to the end, and I really hope you learned something. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give this a thumbs up. Leave me some comments below, let me know what you'd love to see next, and I'll be seeing you next week for lots more hair tutorials and hair care tips. Bye guys.